Welcome in for another edition of Saratoga Saturdays. I'm Anita Marks, Jonathon Kinchen. He is our star, and I have hair envy right now. Jonathon, how you doing? Fun night at Saratoga. Ready to break it down for us on Saturday?
Absolutely. We did some really bad planning, thinking this was a great idea at Saturday morning during Saratoga. But it was it's a fun night. It's always fun. Whitney weekend's always good because obviously the Whitney, but then also the test, the Saratoga Derby, and the sale on Monday. So a lot of people come into town. All of the who's who in racing are in town to buy new horses to find the next ones that will be running in races like this. And so it's always a fun weekend. Lots going on, lots of friends. It's kind of like that first day of school again.
Yeah. So maybe next year we start at 10. I don't know. Maybe give you an extra hour, but it's all good. Want to remind you, ABR, we have our the Fan Choice Awards. So make sure you log on to americasbestracing.net and start voting. And also randomly select 4 voters to get a $1,000 gift certificate. So you log on to ABR, you vote. It could benefit you in a big way as well. So, all right, Jonathon, let's start. We're going to start with race 8, the test stakes. Post time is 4:34 p.m. So, folks, you got a lot of time to get your bets in. 3-year-old fillies, 7 furlongs. And I guess one of the big storylines is that Bob Baffert is back with a horse, Illumination. What are your thoughts on Baffert being back and, of course, Illumination being entered into this race?
Yeah, look, as an American, I'm a believer in due process, so it'll all kind of play its way out. Illumination's a talented racehorse who looks to be progressing in the right direction. She seems to be working really well in the mornings, and Bob has a history of bringing horses out east, and they run well here in New York. He had a really special Belmont Stakes Day a couple of years back. He's won a lot of these types of races with these 3-year-olds, whether it be the males or the females. So she's extremely live. It's not often you see 12-1 morning line on a Baffert runner, but she hasn't really kind of broken out from a speed figure standpoint yet. So I'm assuming that's probably the reason why, but she'll definitely be involved early from the rail. Bob typically doesn't rate his horses in these types of races. So although I don't think she's the most likely from a win standpoint, she will impact the running of the race.
Chad Brown has 2 horses in this race as well. The 7-horse search results, as well as the 5 Always Karina. Super Sensation. I love the play on the name considering the ownership. The 2-horse getting some love as well, but there's another horse in this race that you like, and it's my favorite number, by the way, and that is the 8th horse. Tell us why.
Yeah, this is just it's simply a speed figure play. I look at lots of different speed figures. We've talked about it previously. The speed figures are very similar to like a quarterback rating. The higher, the better. And Bella Sophia has run the fastest speed figure of all of these horses so far. Now, they're still young, progressing 3-year-olds. They can continue to improve. But when you can have a horse who has run the fastest race of all of the horses in here, and that horse is going to be 6, 7, 8 to 1, that's an opportunity I like to try to build things around. I also love where she's drawn towards the outside, meaning that she doesn't have a horse to her outside, so she can just kind of survey what's happening inside of her. And the other horses, like you mentioned, Chad Brown's got a couple in here, search results, and Always Karina. They're going to be bet. And I think you're going to get a fair price on the outside horse on the 8 Bella Sophia. Now, I don't think that she's the most likely winner, but I think there's a ton of value when you can have the quote-unquote fastest horse and that horse not be the favorite.
Okay, so how are you playing this race?
Yeah, so I'll probably on big days like this, when there's a bunch, I got an opportunity at 3 grade 1 races in one sequence. All of my money today will be going through the pick 5 or the pick 6. I like playing grade 1 races because you know that everyone's there to try to win. There's no, this is a step for the next race, or we're going to, or you don't have to deal with the claiming questions of why horses are in for claiming prices. These are grade 1 races. Everyone's here to win. You know the story. A lot of times I don't have to look at the past performances to handicap these types of races because you just remember them. They've been running on big days and big races. And so I'll be using search results and Bella Sophia in pick 5s and pick 6s. I'll also use a little bit of Always Karina, the 5 horse. I like her cutting back. She was going a little bit further last time. Now she's going 7 furlongs. I think she's interesting. And Chad Brown yesterday just got his 2,000th win. And so not that matters today, but just another side note.
All right, race number 9, Saratoga Derby, post time 5:10, 3-year-olds. A lot of horses in this race, 11, and many from Europe. And I know you have your eye on quite a few. Break it down for us.
Yeah, it's funny. North American turf racing, it's not as big of a gap as it used to be. But just kind of imagine if, like, Manchester United came over to play like the LA Galaxy. It's like the Europeans are better at soccer than we are. But
right.
if the Patriots went over there to play, I don't know, some football team over there, we would win as well. That's our dirt racing. When they come here, they usually have the upper hand. Now, it's like I said, the gap is starting to close, but there's just not been a North American horse that's really jumped off the page in these turf races. The 6 Bolshoi Ballet, this is a horse that I thought was impressive last time, ran extremely well, closing into a slow pace. Ryan Moore will ride. He's we have a lot of guys in this country that kind of are vying for that best rider in the country. Irad, Luis Saez, Mike Smith, Johnny Velasquez, Joel Rosario. Ryan Moore is definitely the cream of the crop over there. He comes here to ride in this race. And I just think that the 6 Bolshoi Ballet is going to be too hard to beat. The horse is just better than these. Now, there's some other ones that are coming as well. Charlie Appleby's sending one. Mike Smith is flying from California to ride. That's the 7 Secret Protector. So you'll have to see what happens there. But what I know from seeing Bolshoi Ballet last time, that horse is going to be tough to beat in here. So I'll play a lot through Bolshoi in my picks, but I'll also kind of have some saver tickets on some of the other Europeans. But I'm just not really too concerned about the United States runners.
A little family affair in regard to the trainers here, right? Isn't the son of the trainer for the 6 horse training the 9 horse State of Rest, Joseph O'Brien?
It is. Yeah, in this country, you hear Chad Brown, you hear Todd Pletcher, you hear Bob Baffert. Over there, it's definitely Aiden O'Brien. And, yeah, his son Joseph O'Brien, who's actually, oddly enough, rode one of Aiden's Breeders' Cup winners. But he just got a little bit too big, and now he decided to be a trainer instead. Yeah,
we hate that when you get a little too big. Let's go to race 10, the Whitney Stakes. This is the big race, 5:48 p.m. is post time, 4-year-olds and up. A short field, only 5 horses, but everybody's talking about Nick's Go. Could this be and I don't want to throw shade, but could this be like a big Nick's winner when, of course, they can't win at the Garden?
Oh, the New York people are loving that one. Look, Nick's Go is a horse that does something that as a horse player I love, which is he goes to the front and he goes fast and he runs them off their feet. He's one of those horses where the faster he goes, in my opinion, the better he runs. That's his weapon. In the Met Mile, he didn't go to the lead. He sat off of horses. And I liken it to telling Steph Curry he can't shoot threes in a game. That's what he does. That's his weapon. Let him roll. And I'm pretty sure they'll do that. They did it last time in the Cornhusker. They let him roll. He runs fast on the front end. I think he sucks other horses along, makes them go faster earlier than they want to go. And then when it's time for the real running to start, he's already so far ahead, and he's already put the other horses kind of on chase mode early, and I think he'll do that this afternoon as well. Brad Cox, one of those trainers, typically lets his horses get out there and show their stuff, and I think he'll do that. There's no one in this race that can go with him early. He won't have pressure. He can go as fast as he wants, as comfortably as he wants, and I think he'll be really hard to beat going a mile on 8th here, while the other horses will be playing chase.
One horse that's very near and dear to me, Swiss Skydiver. Of course, I love her. She won me a ton of money at the Preakness last year, but how do you play this? Because obviously Nick's Go, is favored. You go up to the window. How do you play this where you can actually make some good coin?
Well, I mean, look, I'm a believer that value is kind of one of those things that is your own preference, right? If you're me and you think Nick's Go can't lose, I don't think he can't lose. They all can lose, but if you think he's got a significant chance of winning, I think Nick's Go could be 3-5 in my brain. So if he goes off at 4-5, or if he goes off at even money, to me, that's value because I'm getting a bigger number than what I think his odds of winning are. So if you're in that boat, if I've convinced you of Nick's Go, then you can bet Nick's Go to win. They don't always have to be 5-1 shots. I think that's a big mistake that people make in racing where they marry themselves to a price and think that they're being smart because they're betting 5-1 shots. I'm going to probably single this horse in the picks, in the pick 5, pick 6. I'll be single to Knicks Go with 80% of my money going through there. Maybe a couple saver tickets on Maxfield in case they go too fast. Maxfield has shown a lot of talent, could pick up the pieces, but look, I think Knicks Go is going to be hard to beat. And to talk a little bit about Swiss Skydiver, it's really cool. We love when these fillies take on the boys. She's in deep water here. And in my opinion, I think she's only here as a prep race for the personal ensign. There was a equine virus that was going around. She was supposed to run in a race 2 weeks ago. She didn't get to run in that race because she had to quarantine. So now they're sitting in a position where they have to run her somewhere in order to have her ready for this next race. I think she's in deep waters here.
Stay away. Stay away from the lady. Stay away from the lady.
I would say I'll tell you to stay away from by my standards too. He's a male, so I'm an equal opportunity offender here.
All right. So for folks that want to play pick 4, pick 5, you're saying that you're going to play a pick 6 as well. Is there a horse in the 11th race you like?
Yeah, I'm really interested in the 8 Chestertown, and this is a bow to my colleague Maggie Wolfendale. She's been waiting for this horse to be a first-time gelding. You can Google it. It's too early on a Saturday morning to explain what that means, but I think this horse could improve off of that. Maggie pays a ton of attention to these horses from a physical standpoint, and when she points out something like that, it's something I pay attention to. So I think the 8 Chestertown is one that is I'm very interested in getting involved with. And then towards the last race, the 10 Baystorm for the wonderfully named trainer Jonathon Thomas. I always root for him. This is a horse that ran really well last year, and I think can improve now off of a long break with some maturity. Is the 3-year-old now, and a lot of times these 2-year-olds will have these performances. They'll get a break, they'll grow up, and they'll really come back even better. So I think the 10 Baystorm has a lot of things going in her direction, including the fact that her trainer's name is Jonathon.
Okay, so now we know what your pick 5 is. Where's your pick 6 coming from? What's your 6 horse that you're throwing in?
Let's see. I didn't even look. So I'm guessing it starts in the 8th. It starts in the 7th. Oh, I love in the 7th is where the sequence will start. I love a filly in that race named Warlike Goddess. Very well named. She is just awesome. She loves these long distance turf races, and I think she'll be tough in here as well. She'll be the favorite. But a horse that maybe if you're on a smaller budget when you're playing your pick 6, this is the type of horse I would look at singling early to help make your ticket not be as expensive. You single her, you single Knicks Go, suddenly you have a ticket that's playable and affordable.
Fantastic. Jonathon, great as always. Again, huge hair envy. We'll see you later on today on Fox as well, right? I always like pumping that for you.
Yeah, I think I'm on at like 4:30. I think right when all the fun stuff starts.
All the fun stuff starts. All right, and it's been a fun morning with you, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're here with you every Saturday morning, starting at 9 a.m. Maybe next year we'll change that. But Saratoga Saturdays. Good luck in Saratoga this week.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than America's Best Racing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle. The best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. America's Best Racing.net is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.